Conversations with God, an alien God, that is um, book 2, chapter 1 and 2. Introduction. This is an extraordinary document. It's a message from God, and in it God suggests a social, sexual, educational, political, economic, and theological revolution on this planet, the likes of which we have never seen and seldom imagined. The suggestion is made within the context of our own stated desires as the planet's inhabitants. We have said that we choose to create a better life for all, to elevate our consciousness, to seek a newer world. God will not condemn us no matter what we choose, but if we choose this, He is willing to show us the way. She will not force us, however, to take her suggestions. Not now, not ever. I find the words in this book at once captivating, disturbing, challenging, uplifting. They are captivating in that they catch my breath with the scoop and sweep of their reach. They are disturbing in that they show me to myself and the human race to me in a way which is very unsettling. They are challenging in that they put the dare to me as no one and nothing ever has before. I think they did before, that I don't know, but yes, these materials are not new. It's a very old material. There has been others whose work has been destroyed so as not to be published, because otherwise how will they live in fantasia about religion rules, isn't it? So the dare to be better, the dare to be bigger than I have been, the dare to be the source of a world in which anger, petty jealousy, sexual dysfunction, now is the sexual nonsense again, economic inequality, we can live without, many people here can live without sex, economic inequality, educational tomfoolery, social inequality, and political secrecy, chicaneries, and power plays are never again part of the human experience. They are uplifting in that they hold out the hope that all this is possible. Can we really build such a world? God says yes, and that all it takes is for us to really choose to do it. This book is an actual dialogue with God. It's the second in a series of 3 books capturing a conversation with deity, which has lasted well over 5 years and continues to this very day. You may not believe that this material has actually come from God. Well, that's what you thought back then, but it's an alien. And I have no need for you to. What is important? What is important to me is only whether the material itself has any value, brings any insight, produces any awakening, sparks any renewed desire, or promotes any fruitful change in our day-to-day life on earth. God knows something has to change. We can't keep going on as we have been. I don't know. Not something has to change, but not for the worse. Maybe for the better, not worse, isn't it? Yeah, because there's many kind of change, but what changes are you talking about, the good or the bad? The Conversations with God trilogy began when book 1 of this series was released in May of 1995. That book dealt with mainly personal concerns and changed my life. It changed a lot of lives. Within weeks, it became an astonishingly fast seller, with distribution reaching amazing levels. By the end of its 4th year, it was selling 12,000 copies a month and rising. Of course, the author of the book was hardly unknown. And that is what has made the document so intriguing and so powerful. I have been deeply grateful to be part of this process, the process by which some great truths have been remembered once again by thousands of people. I'm personally pleased and very happy that so many have found value in the work. I want you to know that at first I was downright scared. It occurred to me that others might think I was crazy, suffering delusions of grandeur, or that if they did believe the material to have been inspired by God, they would then actually follow the advice. And why was I afraid of this? Simple, I knew that everything I had written could be wrong. Yeah, it could be wrong. It's a little related to sexual energy, I guess. Then come this no sense of do away with social benefits for the needy. Then the letters began arriving, letters from people all over the world, and then I knew, deep inside I knew, this was right. This was exactly what the world needed to hear at exactly the right time. That one was the nanoseconds. That's why they came to pass you this information, because it was during the time of the nanoseconds that started in the 80s. Of course, there is no right and wrong except within the relative experience of our existence. So what I know myself to mean is that the book is right on given who and what we say on this planet we want to be. Now along comes book 2, and I notice I have gone into fear all over again. This book deals with the large aspects of our individual lives, as well as geophysical and geopolitical considerations of worldwide implication. As such, this volume will contain, I suspect, much more with which the average reader may disagree. And so, I'm afraid, I'm afraid you won't like what you read here. I'm afraid that it will make me wrong. Virgo man, for some of it. So what? Why are you afraid? Just let it go. Tell what you think. Tell what you know. Put it out. How other people choose to perceive is up to them. It's not your problem. You offer the medication, whether they want to take it or not, up to them. I'm afraid that I will stir up a hornet's nest, kick up a storm, make waves, and once more, I'm afraid that everything here could be wrong. Certainly I should know better than to have these fears. After all, hadn't I read my own first book? Well, there you have it. My humanity again. You see, it's not my goal in making these transcriptions public to shake people up. I wish only to be honestly and forthrightly pass on to you what God has communicated to me. In answer to my questions, I promised God that you would do that, make public these conversations, and I can't break that promise. You can't break your promise either. Obviously, you have made a promise to allow all of your thoughts, ideas, and beliefs to be continually challenged. Clearly, you have made a deep commitment to continually grow. Only a person with such a commitment would pick up a book like this. So it seems we are in this together, and there's nothing to fear. We are what we are, and we do what we do as a result of that. And all we have to do is stay true, so that there is nothing true to that, and there is nothing to fear. What I know, that I guess I've known all along, is that we are messengers, you and I. If you want, I wouldn't be writing this, and you certainly wouldn't be reading it. We are messengers, and we have work to do. We have to make sure we clearly understand the message we've been given in the CWG box. Second, we have to integrate that message into our lives so that it becomes functional. And third, we have to carry that message to others, bringing its truth to all those whose lives we touch by the simple and exquisite device of our example. I'm glad you've chosen to take this journey with me. It's much easier and much more fun with you than without you. Let's walk together now through these pages. It could be a little uncomfortable now and then. Not like book 1. Book 1 was God's embrace, a big warm hug around the shoulders. Book 2 is God's equally loving but more gently jarring shake of those shoulders, a wake-up call, a challenge to move to the next level. There is always a next level, Your soul, which came here for the richest experience, and not the poorest, the most, not the least, would like you not to rest. And while the choices is always yours, your soul would have it that you never become complacent or self-satisfied, and certainly never sink into apathy, for there is too much to change in your world, too much left of yourself for you to create. Always there is a new mountain to climb, a new frontier to explore, a new fear to conquer. Always there is a grander place, a larger concept, a greater vision. So this book may be a bit more uncomfortable than book 1. Stay with the discomfort if and when you feel it. Hold onto the boat if it begins to rock. Then live within a new paradigm. Better yet, through the wonder and the example of your own life lived. Help to create one. Neil Donald Walsh, Ashland, Oregon, March 1997. Chapter 1. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. You are here by appointment, true, but still could have failed to show up. You could have decided not to. You choose instead to be here at the appointed hour, at the appointed place, for this book to come into your hands. So, thank you. Now, if you have done all this subconsciously without even knowing what you are doing or why, some of this may be a mystery to you, and a little explain may be in order. Let's start by causing you to notice that this book has arrived in your life at the right and perfect time. You may not know that now, but when you finish with the experience that is in store for you, you will know it absolutely. Everything happens in perfect order, and the arrival of this book in your life is no exception. What you have here is that for which you have been looking, that for which you have been yearning for a very long time. What you have here is your latest, and for some of you perhaps your first very real contact with God, between parentheses, alien God. This is a contact, and it's very real. God is going to have an actual conversation with you now through me. I wouldn't have said this a few years ago. I'm saying it now because I've already had such a dialogue, and I therefore know that such a thing is possible. Not only it is possible, it is happening all the time. Just as this is happening right here, right now, blah, 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 blah. What is important for you to understand is that you in part have caused this to happen, just as you have caused this book to be in your hands at this moment. We are all at the cause in creating the events of our lives, and we are all co-creators with the one great creator in producing each of the circumstances leading up to those events. My first experience of talking to God on your behalf occurred in 1992-93. I had written an angry letter to God, asking why my life had become such a monument to struggle and failure. It's not only yours, many other people. In everything from my romantic relationships to my life work to my interactions with my children to my health, in everything I was experiencing nothing but struggle and failure. My letter to God demanded to know why and what it took to make life work. Yeah, it's fun that when we are enjoying life, we are in a good conditions or good period, we don't remember a God. But when we are in trouble, we remember a God only when we are in trouble. That's to me selfish. For me, whether I am in trouble or no, I don't. Uh, I mean, I don't ask for help. To my astonishment, the letter was answered. How it was answered and what those answers were became a book published in May 1995 and the title Conversations with God, Book 1. Perhaps you've heard of it or maybe have even read it. If so, you do not need any further preamble to this book. If you are not familiar with the first book, I hope you soon will be, because Book 1 outlines in much greater detail how all of this began and answers many questions about our personal lives, questions about money, love, sex, God, health and sickness, eating, relationships, right to work, and many other aspects of our day-to-day experience which are not addressed here. If there is one gift I would ask God to give to the world at this time, it would be the information in Book 1. True to form, even before you ask, I will have answered. God has already done so. So I hope that, but not what we need. So I hope, we need this for what? You want to know that when your life here in the 3 days still is a mess. So I hope that after reading this book, or maybe even before you finish it, you will choose to read the first. It's all a matter of choice, just as pure choice brought you to these words right now. Just as pure choice has created every experience you ever had, a concept that is explained in the first book. These first paragraphs of Book 2 were written in March 1996 to provide a brief introduction to the information which follows. As in Book 1, the process by which this information arrived was exquisitely simple. On a blank sheet of paper, I would merely write a question, any question. Usually the first question that came to my head, and no sooner was the question written that the answer would form in my head as if someone were whispering in my ear. I was taking dictation. With the exception of these few opening lines, all the material in this book was placed on paper between spring 1993 and a little over 1 year later. I would like to present it to you now, just as it came from me and was given to me. In Easter Sunday 1993, and as instructed, I'm here, pencil in hand, writing pad before me, ready to begin. I suppose I should tell you God asked me to be here. We had a date. We are to beginning today, Book 2, the second in a trilogy which God and I knew are experiencing together. I have no idea yet what this book is going to say or even the specific subjects that will touch upon. That's because there is no plan for this book in my head. There can't be. I'm not the one deciding what's going to go into it. God is. On Easter Sunday 1992, 1 year ago today, God began a dialogue with me. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it is what happened. Not long ago, that dialogue ended. I was given instruction to take a rest, but told you also that I had a date to return to this conversation this day. You have a date too. You are keeping it right now. I'm clear that this book is being written not only to me, but to you through me. Apparently, you've been looking for God and for words from God for a very long time. So have I. Today we shall find God together. That's always the best way to find God, together. We shall never find God apart. I mean that two ways. I mean we shall never find God so long as we are apart. Oh, what I have been doing for the first step in finding that we are not apart from God is find that we are not apart from each other. And until we know and realize that all of us are one, we cannot know and realize that we and God are one. God is not apart from us ever, and we only think we are apart from God. It's a common error. Some people think that we are apart from it. We also think we are apart from each other, and so the fastest way to find God, I've discovered, is to find each other, to stop hiding out from each other, and of course to stop hiding out from ourselves. The fastest way to stop hiding out is to tell the truth. How many people out there knows the truth? They only know what has been passed to them, somebody else's truth. They absorb someone else's truth, not their own. That's the problem. Each person has to find their own truth at the right time. Some people are not ready for some different truths or the absolute truth whatsoever. So let it be, because they are too ingrained, too imbued inside their belief system, cultural beliefs and religions belief. So the fastest way to stop hiding out is to tell the truth to everyone all the time. Start telling the truth now and never stop. Begin by telling the truth to yourself about yourself. The fastest way to stop hiding out is to tell the truth to everyone all the time. Start telling the truth now and never stop. Begin by telling the truth to yourself about yourself. Tell about you. Be frank. Don't hide. Some people are so hypocrite that they never talk about their lives because they are afraid of ridicule. They are afraid of criticism. They think that death should not supposed to be thrown below the rugs. I know people don't give a damn, but anyway, well, who cares what other people think or do or stop doing? Then tell the truth to yourself about another. Then tell the truth about yourself to another. Then tell the truth about another to that another. Finally, a truth to everyone about everything. There are the 5 levels of truth telling. This is the advised level path to freedom. The truth shall set you free. Your bags about truth. What? I put bags about truth, not much truth, God's truth. One Michelle dialogue, God's and mine, was concluded just a year ago. I assume this is one will go just like the first. Let's say the question God the answer. I guess I will stop and ask God right now. It's how it go. Yes, I thought so. God, this is how it is going to go. Yes, I thought so. Except that in this book I will bring some subjects up myself without you asking. I didn't do much of that in my first book, as you know. Yes, you adding that twist here, because this book is being written at my request. I asked you here, as you pointed out. The first book was a project you started by yourself. With the first book, you had an agenda. With this book, you have no agenda except to do my will. Yes, that's correct. That now is a very good place to be. I hope you and others will go to that place often. But I thought you will always that your will was my will. How can I not do your will if it's the same as mine? That is an intricate question and not a bad place in start. Not a bad place at all for us to begin this dialogue. Let's go back a few paces. I have never said that my will wants your will. Huh? You said just a while ago. Yes, you have. In the last book, you say to me very clearly, your will is my will. Indeed, but that's not the same thing. It isn't. You could have fooled me. When I say your will is my will, that is not the same thing as say my will is your will. Huh? When I say your will is my will, it's not the same thing as say my will is your. Oh, okay. So this means he tries to say like this: your will is my will. What you want for yourself, I want for you. Understand? If you did my will all the time, that would be nothing more for you to do to achieve enlightenment. This one is a Luciferian project. The process would be over. You would be already there. One day of doing nothing but my will would bring you enlightenment. If you had been doing my will all those years, you would have been alive. You would hardly need to be involved in this book right now. So it's clear you have not been doing my will. In fact, most of the time you don't even know my will. I don't? No, you don't. Then why don't you tell me what it is? I do. You just don't listen. And when you do listen, you don't really hear. And when you do hear, you don't believe what you be hearing. And when you do believe what you be hearing, you don't follow instruction in a way. So to say that my will is your will is demonstrably inaccurate. On the other hand, your will is my will. First, because I know it. Second, because I accept it. Third, because I praise it. Fourth, because I love it. Fifth, because I own it and call it my own. So it likes for us what we want for ourselves. This means you have free will to do as you wish, and that I make your will mine through unconditional love. Now, for my will to be yours, you would have to do the same. First, you would have to know it. Second, you would have to accept it. Third, you would have to praise it. Fourth, you would have to love it. Finally, you would have to call it your own. In the whole history of your race, only a few of you have ever done this consistently. A handful of others have done it nearly always. Many have done it a great deal. A whole slew of people have done it from time to time, and virtually everyone has done it on a rare occasion, although some have never done it at all. I think I belong to the last. Have never done it at all. But what's his will? I don't know. Is it your will, my will? So then I have done it. And how I have done, because I believe in my freedom. Even if there's no such thing, I still believe in my free will, my freedom, and I cherish it. Which category am I in? Does it matter? Which category do you want to be in from now on? Isn't that the pertinent question? Yes. And your answer? I'd like to be on the first category. I'd like to know and do your will all the time. That's laudable, commendable, and probably impossible. Why? Because you have far too much growing to do before you can claim that. Yet I tell you this, you could claim that, you could move to godhood this instant if you choose to. If you choose to. Your growth need not take so much time. Then why has it taken so much time? Indeed, why has it? Why are you waiting for? Surely you don't believe it is holding you back? No, I'm clear that I'm holding myself back. Good. Clarity is the first step to mastery. I'd like to get to mastery. How can I do that? Keep reading this book. That's exactly where I'm taking you. Chapter 2. I'm not sure I know where this book is going. I'm not sure where to begin. Let's take time. How much time do you need to take? It's already taken me 5 months to get from the first chapter to this. I know that people read this and think it's all put it down in one even uninterrupted flow. They don't realize that 20 weeks separated the 32 and 33 paragraph of this book. They don't understand that sometimes the moments of inspiration are half a year apart. How much time do you have to take? That's not what I meant. I mean, let's take time as our first subject as a place to begin. Okay. But while we are on the subject, why does it take months sometimes to complete a simple paragraph? Why are you so long between visits? My dear and wonderful son, I'm not long between visits. I'm never not with you. I'm never not with you. You are simply not always aware. Why? Why am not aware of you if you are always here? Because your life gets caught up in other things. Let's face it, you've had a pretty busy 5 months. I have, yes, I have. A lot's been going on. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to think about our life, pick up the pieces, find a way to pay bills. And you've made these things more important than me. That doesn't feel like my truth. And you've made these things more important than me. That doesn't feel like my truth. My truth. I think sons are God's self, speak is the God's self, that beings that split up. There are many selves to create group family group. I invite you to look at your actions. You've been deeply involved in your physical life. You've paid very little attention to your soul. It's been a challenging period. Yes, all the more reason to have included your soul in the process. These past months would have all gone much more smoothly with my help. So may I suggest that you don't lose contact? I try to stay close, but I seem to get lost, caught up, as you put it, in my own drama. And then somehow I don't find time for you. I don't meditate, I don't pray, and I certainly don't write. There is far better thing to do than those things up here. Like, go out our daily lives, do the things that we have to go out, enjoy. Go out in nature, enjoy, do such charity work, feed the strays, give to the poor. That's the best thing we can do. Better than pray, meditate. For what? You follow release, but your heart is rotten. Your heart is rotten. For what? You're going to pray, meditate just to show off to the public. That's a shame. I don't want to be like that. I am what I am in the raw. I know it is an irony of life that when you need our connection the most, you step away from it. How can I stop doing that? Stop doing that. That's what I just said, but how? You stop doing that by stopping doing that. It's not that simple. It is that simple. I wish it were. Then it really will be, because what you wish is my command. Remember, my cherished one, your desires are my desires. Your will is my will. So you stop doing that by stop doing that. It's not that simple. It is that simple. I wish it were. Then I have to repeat, because sometimes the editor, the screen recording sometimes goes berserk and stop, and then I have to repeat because I don't know where I have stopped. Then it really will be, because what you wish must command. Remember, my cherished one, your desires are my desires. Your will is my will. Alright, okay, then I wish for this book to be finished by March. It's October now. I wish for no more 5 month gaps in the material coming. So will it be good, unless it's not. Oh man, do you have to play these games? No, but so far that's how you decide to live your life. You keep it, change your mind. Remember, life is an ongoing process of creation. You are creating your reality every minute. The decision you make today is often not the choice you make tomorrow. Yet here is a secret of all masters. Keep choosing the same thing. I think it's getting bored doing that skipping, but it's good because you become more sincere and consistent and grounded by keep on choosing the same thing and don't go back in your words over and over again. Once it is not enough, over and over until your will is made manifest in your reality. For some that could take years, for some months, for others weeks. For those approaching mastery, days, hours, or even minutes. For masters, creation is instantaneous. I'm gonna repeat. Over and over again, once not enough, over and over until your will is made manifest in your reality. For some that could take years, for some months, for others weeks, for those approaching mastery, days, hours, or even minutes. For masters, creation is instantaneous. You can tell you are on your way to mastery when you see the gap closing between willing and experiencing. How about what they call planetary configurations, Rahu and Ketu lessons, lessons of hard knocks in life, like wars and upheavals? How about that? How about that those aliens bring to people here? Wait. Very warm, 32 degrees Celsius outside there. Hot sun look like 33. 32 degree over outside there. And it's not even summer yet here. So over and over until a will is made manifest in your reality. So you said the decision you make today is often not the choice you make tomorrow. So what? Are you saying we should never indulge in a change of mind? Change your mind all you want. Yet remember that with each change of mind comes a change in the direction of the whole universe. So listen about change of mind. Change your mind all you want, yet you remember that with each change of mind comes a change in the direction of the whole universe. That's what I mean when people keep on flip-flopping, being consistent, etc. When you make up your mind about something, you set the universe into motion. Forces beyond your ability to comprehend, far more subtle and complex than you could imagine, are engaged in a process, the intricate dynamics of which you are only just now beginning to understand. These forces and this process are all part of the extraordinary web of interactive energies which comprise the entirety of existence, which you call life itself. They are in essence me. So when I change my mind, I mean make it difficult for you, is it? Is that it? Nothing is difficult for me, but you might be making things very difficult for yourself. Therefore, be of one mind and of a single purpose about a thing, and don't take your mind off of it until you have produced it in reality. Keep focused, stay centered. This is what is meant by being single-minded. If you choose something, choose it with all your might, with all your heart. That's true. to make it manifest. That's true. Don't be faint-hearted. Keep it going. Keep it moving toward it. Be determined. That's true. Very true. Don't take no for an answer. Exactly. But what if we know is the right answer? What if what we want is not for us, not for our own good, not in our best interests? Then you want to give it to us, right? Wrong. I will give you whatever you call forth, whether it's good for you or bad for you. Have you looked at your life lately? But I've been taught that we can't always have what we decide, that God won't give it to us if it's not for our highest good. And also they say, we give you what you need and not what you want. But sometimes even what we need is not bestowed or given. That's something people tell you when they want you not to be disappointed with a particular outcome. First of all, let's move it back to clarity about our relationship. I don't give you anything, you call it forth. Book 1 explains exactly how you do these things in considerable detail. Secondly, I don't make a judgment about what you call forth. I don't call a thing good or bad. You too would do well to not do so. You are a creative being, made in the image and likeness of God. You may have whatever you choose, but you may not have anything you want. In fact, you'll never get anything you want if you want it badly enough. So secondly, I don't make a judgment about what you call forth. I don't call a thing good or bad. You too would do well to not do so. You are a creative being, made in the image and likeness of God. You may have whatever you choose, but you may not have anything you want. In fact, you'll never get anything you want if you want it badly enough. I know, you explained that in book 1 as well. You say that the act of wanting a thing pushes it away from us. Yes, and do you remember why? Because thoughts are creative, and the thought of wanting a thing is a statement to the universe, a declaration of a truth, which the universe then produces in my reality. Yes, so thoughts not enough, you need to put it into practice. So when you think something, and then you say something, and then you do something, the matters becomes real. It realizes, it comes to play. Well, when you join these three tools, a thought, a word, and an action. Yes, so precisely, exactly, you have learned. You do understand. That's great. Yes, that's how it works. The moment you say, I want something, the universe says, indeed you do. And it gives you that precise experience, the experience of you wanting it. Whatever you put after the word I becomes your creative command. The genie in the battle, which I am, exists but to obey. I produce what you call forth. You call forth precisely what you think, feel, and say. It's as simple as that. So tell me again, why does it take so much time for me to create the reality I choose? Because negative, and you don't work hard enough for it to go after it. But if you try hard enough, maybe you'll succeed. For a number of reasons, because you do not believe you can have what you choose, because you do not know what to choose, because you keep trying to figure out what's best for you, because you want guarantees ahead of time that all your choices will be good, and because you keep changing your mind. That's true. This is inconsistency and indecisiveness. Let me see if I understand. I shouldn't try to figure out what's best for me. Best is a relative term depending on 100 variables that makes choices very difficult. There should be only one consideration when making any decision. Is this a statement of who I am? Is this an announcement of who I choose to be? All of life should be such an announcement. And in fact, all of life is. You can allow the announcement to be made by chance or by choice. A life lived by choice is a life of conscious action. A life lived by chance is a life of unconscious reaction. Reaction is just that, an action you have taken before. When you react, what you do is assess the incoming data, search your memory bank for the same or nearly the same experience, and act the way you did before. This is all the work of the mind, not of your soul. Your soul would have you search its memory to see how you might create a truth, a truly genuine experience of you in the now moment. This is the experience of soul searching, of which you have so often heard, but you have to be literally out of your mind to do it. When you spend your time trying to figure out what is best for you, you are doing just that, spending your time. Better to save your time than to spend it wastefully. Yeah, it's better go there and then just venture and face the challenges. It's a great time saver to be out of your mind. Decisions are reached quickly, choices are activated rapidly, because your soul creates out of present experience only, without review, analysis, and criticism of past encounters. That means um, you cannot do things, be afraid to do things because something bad happened in the past. Doesn't mean it's bad to you then. So many people have this trauma of stuck up on the past, and I think that history will be repeated. Sometimes it will occur, sometimes not. Sometimes people don't learn their lessons and keep on repeating it. It's not good anyway. But for some, well, they can gamble with life and just keep on try do the same stupid thing, like say, okay, one relationship. Some people don't learn if a false relationship and keep on try others and others. There's a human and even men who have had like in 10 years they have had like 4 or 5 relationships, 4 or 5 partners, and they keep on try and try and try. Because they think that that partner is not perfect for them, and that the one day they will find their other half of their twin flame. When the twin flame is all about you, is inside yourself, is your own soul. Okay, is yourself, is your, I don't know, is your being. I think that your being is your twin flame, and not somebody else. Somebody else doesn't complete us. If you don't complete yourself, nobody else will. So what happened? We keep on making choices that end up repeating history, and keep it bang our head. And sometimes those humans have a miserable, tragic end in the hands of those men, because they keep on think that they deserve a love, and then even at the age of 70, 50, 60 still keep on trying to find a man in their life or romances, and all this is fantasia, because everything is within you. You cannot find it outside. So that's why people, it's good sometimes to have fear about your disappointments of the past. It's good because you learn your lessons. Like once bitten, twice shy. For me, it's okay. I like it. I don't want to repeat my mistakes again. call me stuck up, I'm okay with myself, I can find another way to do things without having to repeat the same mistakes again because I'm not an idiot. A fool keep on repeating the same mistake. A wise person learns from it and try not to repeat it. That's my way of seeing things. Remember this, the soul creates, the mind reacts. The soul knows in its wisdom that the experience you are having in this moment is an experience sent to you by God before you had any conscious awareness of it. This is what is meant by a present experience. It's already on the way to you even as you are seeking it. For even before you ask, I shall have answered you. Every now moment is a glorious gift from God. That's what is called the present. Yeah, okay, so present means something that I really want. And you know what I want. You know what I want. Where is it? I'm still looking for. Not because I don't try. I try, I don't get. And I'm not talking about romance or all this nonsense thing because I'm not into this. My thing is about finances. That's my focus. Not because I want for me, I want to also help others. So that is called the present. The soul intuitively seeks the perfect circumstances and situation now needed to heal wrong thought and bring you the rightful experience of who you really are. It's the soul's desire to bring you back to God, to bring you home to me. It's the soul's intention to know itself experientially. And oh my God, it was off again, and I talk here alone like a fool, and the screen recorder was off again. So I'm gonna repeat again. You remember, the soul creates, the mind reacts. The soul knows in its wisdom that the experience you are having in this moment is an experience sent to you by God before you have any conscious awareness of it. This is what is meant by a present experience. It's already on the way to you even as you are seeking it. For even before you ask, I shall have answered you. Every now moment is a glorious gift from God. That's what is called the present. The soul intuitively seeks the perfect circumstance and situation now needed to heal wrong thought and bring you the rightful experience of who you really are. It's the soul's desire to bring you back to God, to bring you home to me. It's the soul's intention to know itself experientially and just to know me, for the soul understands that you and I are one. Even as the mind denies this truth and the body acts out this denial. Therefore, in moments of great decision, be out of your mind and do some soul search instead. Like I have learned to do this when I see somebody who needs help, a beg on the street. Sometimes people think, hey, I don't have enough money, so what shall I do? Like say, okay, I have now $10. It's just kind of an example. I have sometimes I have $10 and I say, hey, should I give? But I only have $10, not enough. Shall I share or not? If this person who I ask, then in this moment, what I shall do is the following. I do first, and then I think, like I say, what the heck? Let's split. You take $10, I keep $10 for me. Fine, it's done, settle it. You see, then you're gonna think later. Then when you give already, you go, oh my God, now I give him, I only left $5, nothing for me. But what the heck? It's done. What to do? You see, that's how people don't allow the mind to get in the way of our decisions making. So at least so when it comes to emotional things and a heart, when I talk heart, emotional, emotion, I'm not talking about the sense of man, woman, romance. I totally disagree. I don't like all this stuff. No, I don't like. I'm not talking about it, but I'm talking about help animals, help the poor, help people who needs. That's my aim in life. That's my desire. So the 4 moments of great decision be out of your mind and do some soul searching instead. The soul understands what the mind cannot conceive. If you spend your time trying to figure out what's best for you, your choices will be cautious. Your decisions will take forever. Exactly. And your journey will be launched on a sea of expectation. But looking back on my past, I only regret one thing I had done when I was not even 18-year-old. I was still a girl, 17-year-old, was by getting married. I was not thinking consciously. I was not aware because I never have gone through it before. I have seen my parents' marriage failing. I have had a not good father. But I didn't learn from my mother's mistake. Why? Because I have sisters who were happily between parentheses married, and I not one but two sisters, older sisters. And then I thought, hey, maybe it could work, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, this. I mean, there's not all men are bad. Then I said, no, I don't want to give a try, but okay, he want me to go and visit his country. I went because I want to take an aeroplane and I want to know other cultures, know other people, know other countries, see how is it. So in the end, I get hooked. So that's one the decision I have made, which now I come to regret badly. I regret badly. But I don't blame myself because I was a kid. This man was older than I. He was on his 30-year-old. I was much younger than him. Okay. Had I been older, I would not consent. I would say no, 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 no. And I go a two-way ticket, not one-way ticket, two-way ticket. No one-way ticket to the blues. One-way ticket to the blues. Understand? So yeah, I regret what I have done. That is one thing I ever regret in my life. Because I can't. And with this coming, what I have left my pet, my darling doggy that I loved to death, and the poor thing died of heartbreak. I left my nephew who I helped to take care because the mother was always away in other states, and my mom who I loved dearly, my nephews I loved dearly, my doggy, my animals, my chickens, my mother's goat, chickens, all this I loved, and I have left. So with this unaware and unconscious decisions in my life, I have made a mistake, a great mistake. And yeah, I didn't live in the jungle. I live in the city. There's one shopping already. Everything escalated at this time, and shopping center, and there was metro, and those. I just live in a grange there in the city. Okay, in a grange, beautiful green space. In a grange. So that was the only thing I hated in my life, that happened this to me. All of my doing, I made a choice, and today I paid. My life was full of pain. See, so I would advise people who are about to do the same crap, and there's people who do it when they are older, people who do it at age 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus, they still do stupid things. So what would you do a girl who was not even 18 back then? In the 80s. 80s was the time of innocency yet, when we were so innocent. There was no internet, nothing. We were so innocent. We live for the family. So this is the only thing I regret in my life, and I would say don't live by chances, live by choices. And when I say as choices, doesn't mean just any choices, because some choices can be done through an unconscious level. Something, sometimes people do things impulsively. They don't stop to think. They do first, they pay, and I think later. And I leave this for the young people, the youth, and the teenagers. Okay, or children. A child doesn't know. They go to the road, they climb that trees, they climb that wall, they climb that wall, they rope. They don't care whether they're gonna hurt or not. What they care about is the experience of it, the thrill of it, the heck of it, and not the the results. What they care about is the experience of it, the heck of it. So they don't know. Okay, but once you are old already, if you keep on doing the same crap time and time again, so it's your fault. It's nobody else's fault, because you're an adult and you keep on doing the same stupid thing. It's just like play the same music again, and you don't want to think better. Then it's a problem. You are the fault. It's you to blame. So those who know me, for the soul understands that you and I are one, even as the mind denies this truth and the body acts out this denial. Therefore, in moments of great decision, be out of your mind and do some soul search instead. The soul understands that the mind cannot conceive. If you spend your time trying to figure out what's best for you, your choice will be cautious. Your decisions will take forever, and your journey will be launched on a sea of expectations. If you are not careful, you will drown in your expectations. But don't take the plunge. Don't gamble with your life. Don't take plunge. Ooh, that's quite an answer. But how do I listen to my soul? How do I know what I'm hearing? The soul speaks to you in feelings. Listen to your feelings. Follow your feelings. Honor your feelings. Not always our feelings is true. Sometimes we are bound to make mistakes just to listen to feelings. And sometimes it's wrong. Why does it seem to me that honoring my feelings is precisely what has caused me to get into trouble in the first place? Correct. Very correct. Because assumptions, we think is that impulsion is okay, but it isn't. Because you have labeled growth trouble and standing still safe. Oh, the Luciferian on people to get into trouble. Because this is how Lucifer thinks this way. We want to grow until we keep on falling, look for problem, have woes and upheaval, and how to say trouble in our life, obstacles, etc. Yesterday I went in the park again at night alone, like always, and there was this not once this I played a spirit box, and then this spirit come in and said, do you want to stay with me here through that? You stay with me. Of course it's not a ghost. It's not a ghost. He say, hello, I'm the spirit of woes, and I'm bound to walk the earth in sorrows, in a state of sorrows. And then after that I say, why you come here? He said, would you like to join me in that and be with me? And be with me in death? Then I say, no, I'm not ready yet, and no, I'm not in sorrow. Thank you very much, but I'm not in sorrow. Nevertheless, I'm happy for myself, and you can just call your mom and your dad and go with you. Then he kind of say he get a bit like annoyed with me, and I said, you better leave now, otherwise I cause you to get woes and sorrows. uh, get lost. I say try harder than that. You see, you're gonna get so fed up with me, so antagonized that you will leave. You gonna have stress with me, not otherwise. So try it with me. You see what I'm gonna get. Because you have labeled growth trouble, I tell you this: your feelings will never get you into trouble, because your feelings are your truth. If you want to live a life where you never follow your feelings, but where every feel is filtered through the machinery of your mind, go right ahead. Make your decisions based on your mind's analysis of the situation. But don't look for joy in such machinations, not for celebration of who you truly are. Remember this: true celebration is mindless. If you listen to your soul, you know what is best for you, because what is best for you is what is true for you. When you act all out of what is true for you, you speed your way down the path. When you create an experience based on your now truth, rather than react to experience based on a past truth, you produce a new you. No, 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 thank. Let me be stuck up. I'm be saved this way, then listen to you. Why does it take so much time to create the reality you choose? This is why, because you have not been living your truth. Know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Yet, once you come to know your truth, don't keep changing your mind about it. This is your mind trying to figure out what is best. Stop it. Get out of your mind. Get back to your senses. That is what is meant by getting back to your senses. Is a returning to how you feel, not how you think. Your thoughts are just that. Thoughts, mental constructions, made up, creations of your mind. But your feelings, now they are real. Feelings are the language of the soul, and your soul is your truth. There. Now, does that tie it all together for you? Does this mean we are to express any feelings, no matter how negative or destructive? Feelings are neither negative nor destructive. They are simply truths. How you express your truth is what matters. When you express your truth with love, negative and damaging results rarely occur. And when they do, it's usually because someone else has chosen to experience your truth in a negative or damaging way. In such a case, there is probably nothing you can do to avoid the outcome. Certainly, failing to express your truth would hardly be appropriate. Yet, people do this all the time. So afraid are they to cause or to face possible unpleasantness that they hide their truth altogether. Remember this: it is not nearly so important how well a message is received as how well it is sent. You cannot take responsibility for how well another accepts your truth. You can only ensure how well it is communicated. And by how well, I don't mean merely how clearly. I mean how lovely, how compassionately, how sensitively, how courageously, and how completely. This leaves no room for half-truths, the brutal truth, or even the plain truth. It does mean the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Is the so help you God part that brings in the godly qualities of love and compassion. For I will help you communicate in this way always, if you will ask me. So yes, express what you call your most negative feelings, but not destructively. Failure to express, push out negative feelings does not make them go away. It keeps them in. Negative Negativity kept in harms the body and burdens the soul, and do much worse, cause damage to another. Because of this, some idiots go around haywire and berserk and do harms to other people because they keep so much negativity inside. Instead of it, throw it out, in a very positive way. Don't have to be negative. You can be also positive. But if another person hears every negative thought you have about that person, it would have no effect. It would have to affect the relationship, no matter how lovely those thoughts were delivered. I say to express, push out, get rid of your negative feelings. I did not say how or to whom. All negativity need not be shared with the person about whom it is felt. It's only necessary to communicate these feelings to the other when failure to do so would compromise your integrity or cause another to believe in untruth. Yeah, that's true. When people wrong you or they slander you, spread gossip about you with others, or bring negativity from outside to you and then just um, pour it out to you and then try to harass you, abuse you, then you have all the right to defend yourself. Negativity is never sign. So all negativity need not be shared with the person about who it is felt. It's only necessary to communicate these feelings to the other when failure to do so would compromise your integrity or cause another to believe in untruth. Negativity is never a sign of ultimate truth. Even when it seems like your truth at the moment, it may arise out of an unhealed part of you. In fact, always it does. That's why it's so important to get these negativities out, to release them. On by letting go of them, put them out there, place them in front of you. Can you see them clearly enough to know whether you really believe them? You have all said things, ugly things, only to discover that once they have been said, they no longer feel true. You have all experienced the expressed feelings from fear to anger to rage, only to discover that once having been expressed, they no longer reveal how you really feel. Yeah, because you cool down. After you cool down, but can repeat again if you necessary be. Sometimes it's necessary because some people don't learn another way around. And this way feelings can be tricky. Feelings are the language of the soul, but you must make sure you are listening to your true feelings and not some counterfeit model constructed in your mind. Oh man, so now I can't even trust my feelings. Great. I thought that was the way to truth. I thought that was what you were teaching me. Because some people, especially the men, they love to beach, and they say the human who does that, but mostly the males. And some females who has the male mentality, they beach and a beach and a beach about almost about everybody, about their family, can be a mother, about their father, about their children when young, even about their friends, workplace, and at school. The males especially so the males, bitches male. There's a lot of them out there. Gossip about the human, gossip about their parents, their friends, etc. So these people are really very negative. Better stay away from them. It is. Oh man, so now I can't even trust my feelings. Great, I thought that was the way to truth. I thought that was what you were teaching me. It is. I am. But listen, because it's a more complex than you now understand. Some feelings are true feelings. There is feeling born in the soul. And some feelings are counterfeit feelings. That's true. These are constructed in your mind. In other words, they are not feelings at all. They are thoughts. Thoughts masquerade as feelings. That's true. And sometimes this is the voice of the collective around you. Can be within the family, in your workplace, at the school, in the environment, or even entities. This is called external feelings. It's not yours, but you take it as yours. These thoughts are based on your previous experience and on the observed experience of others. You see someone grimace when you're having a tooth pulled. You grimace when you have your tooth pulled. It may not even hurt, but you grimace anyway. Your reaction has nothing to do with reality, only how you perceive reality, based on the experience of others or something that's happened to you in the past. The greatest challenge as human beings is to be here now, to stop making things up, stop creating thoughts about a present moment, a moment you sent yourself before you had a thought about it. Be in the moment. Remember, you sent yourself this moment as a gift. The moment contained the seed of a tremendous truth. It's a truth you wished to remember. Yet, when the moment arrived, you immediately began constructing thoughts about it instead of being in the moment. You stood outside the moment and judged it. Then you reacted. That's you act as you did once before. Now look at these two words, reactive and creative. Notice they are the same word, only the C has been moved. When you see things correctly, you become creative rather than reactive. So here we have reactive Oh man. Reactive, then the C here very big. Reactive and a cree. Only the C changes here. Reactive and creative. So notice they are the same word, only the C has been moved. When you see things correctly, you become creative rather than reactive. That's very clever. Well, God's like that. But you see, the point I'm trying to make is that when you come to each moment cleanly without a previous thought about it, You can create who you are rather than reenact who you once were. This means not to repeat the past based on past traumas. Life is a process of creation, and you keep living it as if it were a process of reenactment. So life is a process of creation, and you keep living it as if it were a process of reenactment. But how can any rational human being I know one's previous experience see in the moment something occurs? Isn't it normal to call up everything you know on the subject and respond from that? Otherwise, where would wisdom and learning from one's mistakes stands? It may be normal, but it's not natural. Normal means something usually done in natural. Done. Natural is how you are when you are not trying to be normal. Natural and normal are not the same thing. In any given moment, you can do what you normally do, or you can do what comes naturally. I tell you this, nothing is more natural than love. If you act lovely, you'll be acting naturally. If you react fearfully, resentfully, angrily, you may be acting normally, but you will never be acting naturally, because that's not what we really are. How can I act with love when all of my previous experiences is screaming at me that a particular moment is likely to be painful? I know your previous experience and go into the moment. Be here now. See what there is to work with right now in creating yourself anew. Remember, this is what you are doing here. You have come to this world in this way, at this time, in this place, to know who you are and to create who you wish to be. This is the purpose of all life. Life is an ongoing, never-ending process of recreation. You keep recreating yourselves in the image of your next highest idea about yourselves. But isn't that rather like the man who jumped off the highest building, sure that he could fly? He ignored his previous experience and the observed experience of others, and jumped off the building, all the while declaring, "I'm a God." That doesn't seem very smart. And I tell you this, man have achieved results much greater than flying. Man have healed sickness. Man have raised the dead. One man has. You think only one man has been granted such powers over the physical universes? Only one man has demonstrated them. Not so. Who parted the Red Sea? God. Indeed, but who called upon God to do that? Moses. Exactly. And who called upon me to heal the sick and raise the dead? Jesus. Yes. Now, do you think that what Moses and Jesus did you cannot do? But they didn't do it. They asked you to. That's a different thing. Okay, we'll go with your construction for now. And do you think that you cannot ask me the same miraculous things? No, we cannot do it. I'm so sorry. I suppose I could, and would I grant them? I don't know. That's the difference between you and Moses. That's what separates you from Jesus. I don't think that they heal anybody that didn't want to be healed. I believe that we have the power to heal ourselves. It's all in the man's mind. Nothing is external to them. And as for Jesus and this Moshe, whoever, Joshua, Moshe, they were from the Anunnaki family. They have innate power. It's different from us, the layman. It's totally different. You cannot compare those people who live from the earliest Babylonian times, Sumerian times, belong to the Anunnakis with eyes. Mere mortals. Many people believe if they ask in Jesus' name, He will grant their request. I don't know. I don't think so. Some in Brazil, like for example, I have a relative I had, in fact, she died already. She had baby boy, her first um, born with a foot defect. That means he walk on the side of his foot, one foot. I'm not sure the left or the right, I don't remember. His father had the same condition, so it was hereditary. Those boys grew up. He went through surgery, but it didn't seems to help much. So what the mother did, the mother went, because she's a Catholic, was a Catholic at that time, before she changed her religious belief to other Afro religions. So she went to the church, and then she asked the Virgin Mary for help. She said if her son were to be healed, cured, and could walk properly, she would pay with a foot made of clay. That's how the people do that. To me, it's ignorance. I don't believe this kind of a thing. I know that faith heals in that, but I'm a more kind of a skeptic. Then she did that, and the boy went for his third operation, and the boy could walk properly. His feet, the bone kind of stretching up again, and he could walk normally like us. So the mother, thinking that it was the promise she did with the Virgin Mary, she went on and paid in the church with paid a foot made of clay, wax, not clay, wax. And there were in the church a skull made of wax. There were armies, organs, all the promise that these people would do to obtain certain favor from this deity is from Orion. Yes, many people do believe in that. They believe they have no power, but they have seen or believe for belief. They have seen or believe others who had seen the power of Jesus, so they ask in His name, even though He said, "Why are you so amazed? These things and more shall you also do." Yet the people could not believe it. Men do not to this day. You all imagine you are unworthy, so you ask in the name of Jesus, or the Blessed Virgin Mary, correct, or the patron saint, or this or that, or the sun god, or the spirit of the east. You use anybody's name, anybody's but your own. Yet I tell you this: ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. No. I've been knocking and no one answers. I'll be knocking most of the day. Oh, I've been calling. When I sing this last time, I sing the same song, which I delayed that video because it was out of proportion. What happened was that after that I played this spirit box and the apps, and then he said the entity said, "Come and play to me. Jump off the building and you shall fly." There have been people who have levitated. Do you believe this? Well, I've heard of it. And people who have walked through walls and even left their bodies. Yeah, I have done this many times. Yes, but I have never seen anybody walk through walls, and I don't suggest anyone try it. You cannot do it the body. You cannot do it for the body. But I've never seen anybody walk through walls. And I don't suggest anyone try it, nor do I think we should jump off buildings. That's probably not good for your health. That man fell to his death, not because he could not have flown if he were coming from the right state of being, but because he could never have demonstrated godliness, godliness by trying to show himself as separate from you. Please explain. The man on the building lived in a world of self-delusion in which he imagined himself to be other than the rest of you. By declaring, I am God, alone, of course alone, he began his demonstration with a lie. He hoped to make himself separate, larger, more powerful. It was an act of the ego. Ego that is separate, individual, can never duplicate or demonstrate that which is one. By seeking to demonstrate that he was God, the man of the building demonstrated only his separateness, not his unity with all things. Thus, he sought to demonstrate godliness by demonstrating ungodliness and failed. Jesus, on the other hand, demonstrated godliness by demonstrating unity and seeing unity and wholeness wherever and upon whomever he looked. And this, his consciousness and my consciousness were one, and in such a state, whatever he called forth was made manifest in his divine reality and at the holy moment. I see. So all it takes is Christ consciousness to perform miracles. Well, that should make things simple. Actually, it does more simple than you think, and many have achieved such consciousness. Say hello. Say hello. Many have been christened. That's just Jesus of Nazareth. You can be christened too. How? By seeking to be, choosing to be, but it's a choice you must make every day, every minute. Oh baby, don't come here and disturb, baby. So you simply do not know it, and even if you, okay, by seeking to be, by choosing to be, but it's a choice you must make every day, every minute. It must become the very purpose of your life. It's the purpose of your life. You simply do not know it. And even if you know it, even if you remember the exquisite reason for your very existence, you do not seem to know how to get there from where you are. Yes, that's the case. So how can I get from where I am to where I want to be? I tell you this again, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. I've been seeking, knocking for 35 years. You'll pardon me if I'm a little bored with that line. Exactly, it's not so simple as you imagine. If not to say delusioned, yes, but really, while I have to give you good grades for try in A for a fourth, so to speak, I can't agree to you that you've been seeking and knocking for 35 years. Let's argue that you've been seeking and knocking on and off for 35 years, mostly off. In the past, when you were very young, you came to me only when you were in trouble. When you needed something and you must beg you in order to achieve something, beg, cry, pine. As you grew older and matured, you realized that was probably not a right relationship with God and sought to create something more meaningful. Even then, I was hardly more than a sometimes thing. Still later, as you came to understand that union with God can be achieved only through communion with God, you undertook the practices and behaviors that could achieve communion. Yet, even this you engaged sporadically and consistently. You meditated, you had your rituals, you called me forth and pray and chant, you evoked the spirit of me in you, but only when it suited you, only when you felt inspired to. And glorious as your experience of me was, even on these occasions, still you spent 95% of your life caught up in the illusions of separateness, and only flickering moments here and there in the realization of ultimate reality. You still think your life is about car repairs and telephone bills and what you want out of your relationships. That's about the dramas you have created rather than the creator of those dramas. You have yet to learn why you keep creating your dramas. You are too busy playing them out. You say you understand the meaning of life, but you do not live your understandings. You say you know the way toward communion with God, but you do not take the way. You claim you are on the path, but you do not walk it. Then you come to me and you say you've been sick and knocking for 35 years. I hate to be the one to disillusion you, but it's time you stopped being delusioned in me and started seeing you as you really are. Now, I tell you this. You want to be christened? Act like Christ every minute of every day. It's not that you don't know how. He has shown you the way. Be like Christ in every circumstance. It's not that you can't. He has left your instructions. You are not without help in this, should you seek it. I may give you guidance every minute of every day. I'm the still small voice within which knows which to turn, which path to take, which answer to give, which action to implement, which word to say, which reality to create if you truly seek communion and unity with me. Just listen to me. I guess I don't know how to do that. Oh, nonsense. You are doing it right now. Simply do it all the time. I can't walk around with a yellow legal pad every minute of the day. I can't stop everything and start writing notes to you. Hope you'll be there with one of your brilliant answers. Huh? But earlier on, this same dude was saying that he couldn't wait for this being to come through, and I start to communicate with him, and that there's the first paragraph and second paragraph was very far apart, and now he is complaining that he can't be there all the time for this being. How to understand this man is totally inconsistent. Thank you, they are brilliant. And here's another one. Yes, you can. I mean, if someone told you that you could have a direct connection with God, a direct link, a direct line, and all you had to do was make sure you had paper and pen handy at all times, would you do it? Well, yes, of course. Yet, you just said you wouldn't or can't. So, what's the matter with you? What are you saying? What is your truth exactly? The man is so confused and inconsistent. Now, the good news is that you don't even need a pad and pen. I'm with you always. I don't live in the pen, I live in you. That is true, isn't it? I mean, I can't really believe that, can't I? Of course you can believe it. Is what I've been asking you to believe from the beginning. Is that every master, including Jesus, I said to you, is the central teachings, is the ultimate truth. I am with you always, even unto the end of time. Do you believe this? Yes, now I do, more than ever. I mean, good. then use me. If it works for you to take out a pad and a pen, and I must say that seems to work pretty well for you, then take out a pad and pen more often, every day, every hour, if you have to. Get close to me, get close to me, desperate. Do what you can, do what you have to. Do what it takes. Say a rosary, kiss a stone, bow to the east, chant a chant, swing a pendulum, test a muscle, or write a book. Do what it takes. Each of you has your own construction. Each of you has understood me, created me in your own way. To some of you, I'm a man. To some of you, I'm a woman. To some, I'm in both. To some, I'm in neither. To me, you are neither. To some of you, I'm a pure energy. Yeah, you are pure energy. To some, the ultimate feeling, which you call love. And some of you have no idea what I am. You simply know that I am, and so it is. I am. I am the wind which rustles your hair, rustles your hair. I am the sun which warms your body. I am the rain which dances on your face. I am the smell of flowers in the air, and I am the flowers which send their fragrance upward. I am the air which carries the fragrance. I am the beginning of your first thought. I am the end of your last. I am the idea which sparked your most brilliant moment. I'm the glory of its fulfillment. I'm the feeling which fueled the most loving thing you ever did. I'm the part of you which yearns for the feeling again and again. Whatever works for you, whatever makes it happen, whatever ritual, ceremony, demonstration, meditation, thought, song, word, or action it takes for you to reconnect, do this. Do this in remembrance of me. Yeah, that's beautiful. Very, really beautiful. So, yeah, I'm going to leave my the link to my other channel. I have a channel where I have seen a lot of lights in the sky, brilliant and colorful ones. This park is very, very spooky. Not a park, a garden. Very spooky park garden. And I knew that there were entities in there a long time ago, and I started to go in there um, more frequently last year. Started last year, and in the latest, because I'm gonna add another one. The latest, which one is on the 4th of January, the first one for this year. In fact, you'll find some very fun activities in this garden. So the link will be below, and whoever wants to have a look, just go to this channel. Thank you.